Those things are going to make him be productive in his time. I believe why Joshua and Caleb were different. Because when they were suffering in Israel, they were also learning from their pain. Hallelujah. Caleb, that God said these ones have different spirits. They were learning from their pain. And that was when they began to walk with God, when God's time came, Caleb and Joshua were able to respond positively, fruitfully to the timing of God. They were able to respond positively to the timing of God because they understood that this is God's time. So when others were busy doing idolatrous things, when others were busy venting their anger, when others were busy allowing the pain they suffered in Israel to make them deal with God. In other words, they were getting angry with God. When others were busy complaining, criticizing God's servant Moses, Joshua and Caleb were busy remembering the pain they passed through in Egypt, remembering what could have been happened to them at that moment if they were in Egypt, remembering what they suffered. They were remembering how God kept them alive, even in an environment where they can be killed like a fly. To Caleb's house and say, Caleb, Joshua, come, Caleb, come, bring your gold. Let us make a golden image for this thing. Caleb said, please, I'm not a part of this. Huh? When the whole crowd, everybody in the community was saying, bring your goat, we are making a god to take us back. Caleb said, I'm not a part, thank you, I'm not a part of this, I'm not one of joining people. Yes, I know we are all brothers and sisters, but I don't want to do this. I know that Caleb never knew that God saw him. God saw him. God saw him. That's why he spoke about him. Joshua was already on the mountain with Moses. But Caleb, he withdrew. He didn't join. When they were gathering, conspiring on how to stone Moses, when they were conspiring on how to criticize Moses, when they were conspiring on how to challenge his authority, when they were doing all that conspiracy, Caleb was also in their community. He had them, they called him, come, we have a meeting. This thing Moses is doing is too much. We have to stop him. So I say, hey, I don't want to be a part of this. Why is Caleb behaving that way? Because when he was waiting, he was learning. Hallelujah. When he was waiting, he was learning. Some of us are waiting on God. We are wasting our time only in self-pity. We are constantly comparing ourselves with others every day. Comparing ourselves with others. Look at this person. Comparing ourselves with others when we are waiting. The time we're supposed to look at and understand what is happening to us so we can master how to deal with the issue. We're not doing it. To master what we're going to do when God's time comes, we're not doing it. We're busy wallowing in anger, in pain. And allowing observing the problem, looking at it every day. Allowing the problem to overwhelm us. And that is what devil wants. He wants you to think of a problem to a level where you are ready to allow that problem to make you listen to him. He wants to push you to that level. And if you give him the permission, he will do it. What I'm supposed to be doing is, I believe God. Yes, it's happening. I'm still struggling to meet and meet. Father, I don't have much now, but this is a problem facing me. I'm trusting you to make way for me. The little I have, I'm going to use it to do what I can. But I believe you that this body will not disgrace me. I don't want to compare myself with friends. I don't want to compare myself with my brother. I don't want to compare myself with people I know that I'm even doing better than them, but they are doing much better financially, economically than me. All I know that you have a time, a program for me. Whatever I'm going through now, you are aware of it. I know that you know. I know that you see me. It's not that you're not seeing me. So I pray you know this situation. You promise in your word that you supply my needs. Help me to meet up with this responsibility, to meet up with this bill. Help me to pay the school fees. Help me, Lord, I'm trusting you. Give me an idea. Give me an inspiration of what to do. When you come before, that's why with the first Peter 5 says, humble yourself. When you come in that manner to God, he said, humble yourself for the Lord. You will lift up in due time. When you come in that manner towards God, He will give inspiration. He will direct you where to go and knock. He will direct you where to go and seek. Because people don't understand. You don't knock anywhere. Huh? Wait for God to direct you where to go and knock. If you knock where God asks you to knock, you see the fruitfulness. And I'm telling you, it's not about the environment or who the person is. It's about God's plan. But most times, because we're not looking at God, we're not waiting on God, we go to knock anywhere. We begin to look at that uncle or that brother or that sister or that friend we think is rich. You don't know how he or she made this money. You think it's God is leading you. It's not God leading you, it's devil leading you. But when you come before God humbly and accept whatever predicament you're going through as part of life, and then ask Him to help you because this is necessary. Release it to Him with an utmost surrender. Surrender to Him. Say, Lord, if you want me to do it, fine. If you don't want me to do it, it's okay. Don't put anything on God and say it must be done now. Don't. Always say, if you want it to be done, fine. If you don't want it to be done, it's okay. Just give me the heart to bear the loss. Maybe you want to teach me how to bear losses. I get it. God's time. If you're not prepared for God's time, it will come. As for coming, it will come. Whether you are faithful to Him, you're not faithful to Him. If God promises to do something, when that time comes, it will happen. But the issue is that if you are not wise, if you do not learn from what He wants you to learn from, the time will come and slip away. But if you are spending your time learning, when the time comes, you will grab it and become fruitful on it. That's not the God's time. Second thing I want you to learn about God's time is that the time does not come in the platter of gold. Please. The time of God is introduced with challenges. Is introduced with difficulties. Is introduced with very hard obstacles for you to cross over others. Go to the scriptures to see it. When God's time comes, everything around you begin to work against you. When God's time comes, unless I'm talking for devil's time, I'm talking of God's time. I'm talking of devil's time. God's time, it attracts obstacles. It will look as if it's not His time. This is why Jesus always encourage people to be in the spirit. He said, be spiritually minded. Because God's time does not come in the way your eyes, your understanding can interpret. Most things we see people celebrate in testimony as God's time is not God's time, it's their demon's time. It's not God's time, it is their own time with their demons. Things they do secretly. God's time, before it comes, a storm comes ahead of it. Even as God is about, when I say, as God is about to begin something, it shakes him. Moses came, God told him, go. And said, and let Pharaoh to let my people go. That is God's time. Hallelujah. When God called Moses and the burning bush, said, go to Pharaoh and let them and tell him to tell my people, let my people go. That is God's time. But Moses was like, wow, is that all? He said, that's all. He said, Pharaoh. He said, I should go to Pharaoh. go to one city that there's some soldiers waiting for me there who will join me to go and fight. I thought maybe I'm going with some army, a battalion. You're just asking me to go like that. God, are you sure that you're serious about this? God said, go and tell Pharaoh to let me go. Moses could not understand it because that is not how things are done. That's why I said, when God said go, it's very confusing. It's very engaged. You, at times, you yourself will be fighting against His life. People don't know about God. You yourself, when God begins to do something, you yourself will be fighting against His life if you're not sensitive to spiritual things. But because Moses is a humble man, his natural disposition of humility helped him to follow God. Because most people, in that time, God was saying that they just think, they say, this man is not serious, let me go in here. When you're serious, let me know. How can I go to Pharaoh? A big leader that have thousands, a very rich man, rich government, that have armies, well trained, have chariots, to just go and say, let my people go. Because of the humility of Moses, he was able to accept such offer of God. And he tried not to argue with God. So people, God saw his heart already that he's wondering, what am I going to go with? I was expecting you to tell me you should go to the Gilites or go to these people or to your father-in-law to take you to somewhere. You're going to see an army. They're going to join you. What am I going with? God said, okay, what is in your hands? God knew that Moses already had a problem about how will I do this? How will I do this? I said, what is in your hands? I said, I understand. He said, fine. Let me show you that you have more than army. You have more than a battalion of soldiers. You have more than a crowd of warriors. You have more than that. Throw the stick on the floor. Those wonders has a way of making Moses in his humility to feel that there's a plan he has that I can't understand. But this thing he did is a sign that there is power within me. Are you getting it? But if you look at it in Exodus 5, you see that when Moses went there and told Pharaoh, he expected waiting he tell Pharaoh, this is what God said, and Pharaoh said no, God will strike Pharaoh and Pharaoh die. You know, that is how that's how we want God to work. That's I wish if I just pray God, these people that are very stubborn enemies, let them die, God will just strike them to die immediately. Some of us, that's how we want God to work. So Moses had the same mindset. Okay, since he has this power, if I go there and die, then my people go. If you don't want to let people go, I'll say die. And Moses and Pharaoh will die. God doesn't want that. You are the one who wants to work that. God has a lot of plans. The cries of the people have informed God on how to bring the deliverance. The cries of the people have informed God on how to bring what? The deliverance. He wants to bring a deliverance that will balance off what they did to them. He don't want them to just go out there. He wants Pharaoh to witness that the very people all the days of your life you look down on. The very people all the days of life you stepped on, you treated as rubbish. I want you to see how my love for them will make them supreme before your eyes. Irrespective of your power. I want you to witness that even under your government, I will make a separation between my people and your people. That's what I tell you. No matter where you are, if you find God's favor, He will find you. Moses went there, he said, that's God's time. But Pharaoh didn't respond. Moses started crying to God. All this way I asked for that. I've said everything you want me to say. Up to now, even what happened? Pharaoh even get command that the punishment and the straws will not be given to them, that they go and find their own straw. They were making brick straw. He made their situation worse. He made their work more hard for them. He placed more burden on them and said it because they are having time for freedom. That's why they are complaining, let us go.